Indian captain Harmanpreet Kaur also join us in lighting the lamp to illuminate the path to what now marks 50 days till the ICC Women's World Cup 2025. Please also welcome Smriti Mandhana, Jemimah Rodrigues, our iconic three Indian cricketers who will be carrying our hopes and dreams in this home World Cup. Thank you so much for helping us illuminate the path to what will be an exciting chapter in Indian women's cricket as well. I also request all of you on stage to join us near the trophy. And while we do that, it would be my humble request to invite ICC CEO Mr. Sanjog Gupta to also join us on stage for a photo opportunity with the trophy. Yeah. Once we put on your shoes, if I could request all of you to please join me back on stage for a photo. Okay, please. If we could all, absolute legends, dignitaries, if we could have, sir, if you could be standing here. Harman, if I could request you to come here when our Indian captain does join us. This is a special picture, ladies and gentlemen. This moment marks 50 days till the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup in India 2025, a moment to be cherished with some iconic people. And now let's get our beautiful smiles for this moment. Beautiful moment. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for this picture. Well and truly appreciated. Thank you for helping us light the lamp as well. It marks now 50 days before 8 teams will fight for this coveted trophy, where women will be in their most empowered avatar, that of conquering the world for the ICC Women's. Thank you for helping me welcome our Women's World Cup. Can't help but think back to 2017. That semi-final knock against Australia, that knock that I think inspired so many generations, continue to inspire, and that fighter within you, wo jo choti ladki thi, that young girl in Moga, that came to the fire. All these years later, do you think of the impact of that knock, what it meant in a World Cup?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I mean, that knock was something which really special to me and special to entire women cricket. And definitely, you know, after that knock, a lot of things changed personally in my life and especially in women's cricket also, because that time I didn't realize, you know, what happened, because that time I was totally off from social media. But when we came back to India, and even though we lost the World Cup, but the amount of people who were waiting for us, they're cheering for us, I think that was something very special. And I think still I remember that inning, and still I get goosebumps. I think that was a very special inning, and really happy that came from me.
171 against Australia, that too in a World Cup semi-final. It's incredible. This is a 5th one-day World Cup for you, a 5th World Cup. So many lessons. It's your first as captain, that too in India. Is there emotion? Is there pressure? What is the anticipation for you personally building up into this World Cup?
I think same like how I played my first ODI World Cup, that I just want to go there and enjoy my cricket. I think that is something which is more important to me, because that's why I started playing cricket, because I enjoy this sport a lot. But playing in front of home crowd, that is always special, and hopefully, this time we'll give our 100% and try to, break that barrier which all Indian fans and we all are waiting for it.
There's something about you when it comes to these big world events where you definitely give it more than your 100%. I mean, one of the greatest, big match players sitting right there. I've got another one sitting right here. You average over 50 in cricket World Cups. It brings out that beast mode in you. What is it about that pressure situation that brings out the best in you, Harman?
I think World Cups are always special, and always want to do well for my country. And World Cup's contribution is always, people remember, and I think that is something, which is very special for me. I just want to, keep doing well for my country. And as you mentioned, Yuvi's name, because he's been always, supporting. And I was actually very nervous when we came here, but the moment I met Yuvi Bhaiya, all the pressure gone, because whenever I see him, that always gives me a lot of motivation. And I think the way he performed when we won home World Cup, the kind of performance I always look from me, and hopefully this World Cup try to give my 100%.
It always, so much of it comes down to preparation, not just in that moment as well. You've had a great series in England, some really positive results there. You've got a series coming up right before the World Cup against Australia as well. Personally, for you and for your team, what are the goals in terms of preparation?
Well, whenever we play against Australia, that's always challenging, because, they are very competitive, and you always get to know, where you're standing and what are the areas you need to, improve as a team. I think right before the World Cup, that series is going to, give us a lot of clarity, and hopefully, we'll play our best cricket, and I think the same momentum will continue for the ODI World Cup.
Coming into this, coming back home after beating England in England, getting an overseas result, forgetting what happened in 2017, that final, although it was a great World Cup and meant so much for Indian cricket. Beating some team that has won before, teams that are considered challengers, that too in their own backyard, you've come away with performances. Smriti, Jemmy, all of you have come away with individual performances. What is your confidence like right now?
To be honest, very high, because, the amount of cricket we played in last couple of years, that's really gave us a lot of confidence. And at Touchwood, the way, we are playing from last, a couple of years, we just want to continue with that. And I think it's all about the mindset and, fearless cricket we have been playing. A lot of credit goes to BCCI, our sports staff, and the amount of training we are doing and efforts we are putting in our training camps. That's finally giving us results, and hopefully, this World Cup will be very special for us.
What is your anticipation of playing in a home World Cup? Of course, UVPA has done that recently. The men's team also did that back in November. Playing in a home World Cup, going to so many different venues that you're very comfortable with. What are the stories that you've heard about what it means to play in a home World Cup? Will you take on the different expectation? What will it feel like having your family and friends right in front of you, not just watching you on TV?
Well, I think playing in front of family and, fans, that's always special. And as I mentioned earlier, I started playing cricket because I love the sport. And again, I know there will be a lot of pressure, but at the same time, I just want to enjoy each and every moment of this World Cup, because this is going to be very special for all of us.
We will enjoy it as well. Thank you, Harman, for sharing those thoughts. Let's try and complete the triumvirate as well. Someone who is just elegance personified. Smriti Mandhana has often been at the top of the world, and we want to see her at the top of the world in a couple of weeks as well. Smriti, please join us on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Smriti. Super, I'd like to say. Harman, take a seat. Come. One of the questions actually that we wanted to ask was, what was it like growing up? And I know a lot of them have the same stories. We played with the boys, we played with the brothers, and how much things have changed. We're just at the peak of what would be a Women's World Cup now. So I know you two have similar stories. You played with the boys, you played with your brothers, you grew up like that. The evolution of Indian women cricket in particular, how do you view it now, Smriti?
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, all of us have pretty much the same story that we started playing with our brothers, and father also used to play cricket for the very long time. That was the main story. But when I see people around, especially where I come from Sangli, which is not the biggest cities in India, but I see a lot of parents getting their daughters, and they have a clear plan that I want this my girl to play for India or WPL or all of that sort. So yeah, I mean, the amount of girls playing cricket at this moment is massive, and it's a lot to do with how the last 8 years have panned out, and the moves which BCC has done in recent times, and the WPL. I mean, all of those things together. I mean, it's just been a massive thing, and we're just fortunate that we are part of something, and we are part of a movement for women's cricket, which we all feel really happy and proud about.
I think you said it beautifully because, Mitali 2017, that World Cup final, these girls also, that was a pivotal moment for what it meant to be an Indian woman cricketer. And all of you had impacts. You had personal moments of that. Your maiden World Cup century as well. What are your memories from that against West Indies at Taunton? Your memories from that moment to score in a World Cup, to have the kind of run that you did in 2017?
Yeah, I mean, we all remember that World Cup. Not only my innings, but we remember each other's innings as well, because that World Cup was special in a lot of ways for the whole team. And more than the 100, I think I remember the first match against England where I scored some runs, and that was very important in terms of I was coming back after injury. I was very nervous, and to get the start which we did, that was really nice. But apart from personal ones, all I remember and we all remember from that World Cup is the way we all were as a team and the kind of welcome we got back, and the things which changed post the World Cup. So, to witness 171 was just, we all were very emotional to see the way everyone just came together at different times and performed.
But you also now, in the past 2 years, especially this year, you're like a run machine. The runs are just flowing off the blade. This January scored the fastest 100 by Indian women in an ODI that helped the team score 435. 435, to wonder if it could be done. First Indian to 10 ODI centuries.
In terms that I know I have put in the hard work, I've put in that extra work behind. And when I go out on field, now it's just about reacting. So that calmness only comes with the way you work. So I would say that in last 1.5 odd years, that's been a massive change for me personally and also within the team.
Smriti, 2017, we go back to that because it was such a pivotal moment for Indian women's cricket. Even in terms of broadcast, it broke absolute numbers. It changed a lot of perceptions in the way that we consume women's cricket. 2025, a home World Cup, has the potential to go even further than that. So for the moment, we won't talk about the result. Obviously, that's what you want. That's the obvious one. But in terms of the impact that you hope this 2025 World Cup would leave for you as a team, have you thought of that?
I feel that for us to think as a team is something which we are not really thinking, because whenever we have done well in terms of performances, everything else has taken care by itself. Yeah. So for us as a team is what we are just preparing really, really well. We've had few preparations camp. We had an amazing England tour. We have one tour before the World Cups, and to be fair, that's the only thing which we are thinking, because as Indian team, we all know our fans and we know that how well they come to support us, and which I'm very confident that they're going to do that in this World Cup as well. So for us as a team, it's only doing the best what we can do for the fans and not thinking anything instead of in terms of numbers, because I just feel that whenever we do that well, the numbers and everything takes care of by itself.
Absolutely, the numbers translate into results. Let's complete this triumvirate. Jemimah Rodrigues, could you join us? You not only make us dance to your tunes, you make bowlers dance as you dance down the tracks with them. A huge welcome to Jemimah Rodrigues as we complete this triumvirate of these three iconic cricketers who will harbor all our dreams, hopes, ambitions, carry our responsibilities, carry our dreams in this Women's World Cup. A huge welcome to Jenny as well on stage. You've always got a smile that we think life is so easy for you, but it's not. You work so hard consistently in the last couple of years to change things about yourself, to earn back favor. And in the recent series, you saw a lot of flexibility within you. Jemmy, where does that come from? Is that something that you've discussed as a team, or is that particularly something that you worked really hard on, knowing that there's a Women's World Cup and I need to be able to contribute from any position?
I think for me, how I look at it is firstly the World Cup. I think whatever we've planned as a team, the first conversation is, this is our goal, even if we play a bilateral series. So how we want to improve, thinking of the World Cup, we'll try and implement it here. And talking about flexibility, I think I am such a player that wherever I am, I want to contribute to the team. And if the team believes that I can do well in a particular place or in any situation, I want to be ready for it. So I think that, like Smriti said, I can completely relate to it. Even for me, a lot has changed with my preparation. A lot has changed with my mindset. And I am someone who I want to have a lot of confidence coming from my preparation and practice, which helps me out there. And I want to be ready for anything on the field. So I think that gives me a lot of clarity.
What are your emotions ahead of a home World Cup, a first one for you at that, and looking back at what the 2017 World Cup meant for you?
Talking about the 2017 World Cup, I was just telling Smriti, so when they played the finals at Lord's, I was 16 and a half at that time, and I remember Mumbai Cricket Association had told all the members over there, the under-19 girls, to go and felicitate our girls at the airport and receive them, because they were expecting no one to come, and they were like, okay, the women's team has done so well, it's our responsibility. And I remember at 5:30 a.m., we were at the Mumbai airport. I was having an India flag ready to welcome our team coming from England. And I so remember that all these people, they were very tired and at the same time disappointed because they were so close, yet it felt like so far. And they walked out of the airport thinking that nobody's going to be there. And I can tell you at 5:30 a.m. in the morning at the Mumbai airport, the whole airport was packed. Whole airport was packed with media and crowds. And people right now would think that, okay, that's normal. But at that time, for women's sport, it wasn't. So I remember this whole bunch of players coming in. We could see through the glass window. The whole bunch coming in, seeing so much crowd, going back inside again because they were not prepared for it. And
Is that right?
And I think that was, for me, the turning point in women's cricket in India.
That's beautifully said, yeah.
Who
ran back first, by the way, I want to know?
We all ran back first thinking that they are here to hit us because we lost the World Cup.
There were no lahatis, nothing in the crowd. Huh? We went back.
No, yeah. So that was my memory, and I'm so excited that I'm going to play my first ever 50-over World Cup, and that too, it's a home World Cup. So really looking forward to it.
It's really special. Again, I go back, Harman, to preparation because this result now in England, we looked at all of you in your performances, the confidence, the post-match presentations. You treated it very much like, this is business. It didn't treat it like, wow, this is a great victory for us away, even though we all as fans, as consumers certainly said that. So in terms of your own personal ambitions as a team, in terms of results away, in terms of opponents that are viewed as big match players, what did this victory actually mean? How does it translate now ahead of a World Cup?
Well, we were not surprised with the results because we knew, the kind of preparation we have done. We knew that, we can do this easily. I think that was something, we have been working really hard for it. But I think at the same time, we kept things very simple and we knew that, if we play good cricket, we can easily win any series or any tournament. And we were only talking about how we can win, how we can, improve ourselves. So I think for us, that was not something, we have done something really great because it was now our routines and we just want to, keep doing those things again and again.
Smriti, it was one of those series where all the experienced players, the big match players all stood up in individual moments. So collectively, all your experienced players have had performances. But even you had a couple of debutants, a couple of youngsters that came in as well. For them to be able to thrive, can you describe what this team environment is like right now?
Yeah, I mean, just to add to what Harman said, I mean, sometimes when you come off a tour, what remains with you is the memories. And like in the last 1.5 months in UK, I just felt that a lot of things, even off the field, was very right about the team in terms of how everyone came together. And we as team are really big on it in terms that when that happens, of course, we are working hard each day in, day out, but sometimes there's some things which are right even outside the field. I think that magic reflects. And yeah, I mean, for all the youngsters to come in, and I remember Kranti taking her six wickets. I mean, to watch her bowl was just amazing. So sometimes the environment kind of really helps all of them. Everyone throughout the 300 odd balls when we are fielding, everyone was putting their life, and those one run saved is sometimes which we don't speak. We speak a lot about the 50s or the 100s or the 5 wickets, but I just feel the way everyone came together, fielded and was there for each other. One person had a bad performance, they had 4 people to talk to, and that's, I feel, reflects a very good team, and that's one thing which we would like to continue for the next 2 or 3 odd months.
One of the things that has changed, Jemmy, specifically, is the spotlight. Now a lot of the youngsters know that the spotlight is on you, the expectations on you. How much of that has to do with leagues like the WPL? where you're suddenly inserted into the spotlight, into the broadcast, you're sharing dressing rooms with tremendously experienced players. Does that make a difference in terms of the growth?
100%. I think what the WPL has done is given all youngsters a platform where they've performed and come to the Indian team, which has given them a lot more confidence to go out there, and maybe their debut doesn't feel as much pressure because they've already gone through so much pressure in the WPL, done well and come there. So I think that confidence helps them a lot more to come out there, play for India and express themselves. And we see that in this team especially, like Smriti said, with Kranti coming, her attitude, she's fearless, you know. She's like, give me the ball, I want to bowl, I want to go out there and take wickets. So that attitude is so nice to see amongst the group that it pushes each one of us. I think it's like everyone learns from each other here. Like even though it's Harry, you know, she'll come and tell us, you know, I love that attitude and this is what we need to get in the team. So I think having the WPL has really impacted the confidence of the players coming into the Indian team.
Now see, Harry was born with that attitude. She's been like that from the beginning only. How much has it changed to see these juniors who are equally as passionate, who are equally as driven, confidence? It's just there. It's changed a lot, hasn't it?
I mean, I love that, you know, whenever, I just feel like, okay, finally, koi mere jaisa aaya, because, you know, because when I was young, I was showing that aggression, you know, many people, they stopped me to do that because maybe they didn't like it or they didn't want that attitude. But when somebody, you know, come up with the same attitude, I really enjoy that and I never want to stop them. I want them to enjoy, I want them to continue the way, you know, they have prepared themselves to reach this stage. So I think that is something which is very important, and they have all the freedom to, you know, celebrate whenever we get those little moments.
It's okay, Smriti. Say something. When I said that, you laughed. You can say something about that attitude, because you've seen it in your team as well, these young players.
I think, I feel the odd one out now. No, I mean, to be fair, everyone has, as she said, I mean, everyone comes with that attitude, and the best thing is that, you know, everyone is the way they are, and they just feel that they can be the way they want to, which is the best thing about the team, is that we let them be the way they want to. That's one thing which also helps them to do what they can do.
So all three of you, actually, I'll ask this question to Harman, but I'll start with you. You look at the venues, Bengaluru, Indore, Visakhapatnam, Guwahati, Colombo. I mean, these are venues where we've seen some serious fandom for you. I mean, your name, Smriti's name, Jemi's name, the crowd just reverberates with that. How much do you believe that will impact your own performance in a home World Cup?
I think, as I mentioned earlier, that, you know, one thing which really worked for me or worked for our team, that is, you know, enjoying our cricket. I know fans are there to support us. I think that really helped when, you know, things are not going in your way. When you enter the ground and you see the ground, you automatically feel motivated to do well for them and for your country. I think apart from that, there is no pressure. We just want to go there and enjoy.
Yeah, there's no hiding, Jemmy? Once you walk out to any of these stadiums, everyone knows you, knows your business, and wants to see the best out of you.
Yeah, 100%. You know, for us, it's like wherever we go to play in the world, it always feels like a home game. Yeah. Because somehow, somewhere, our fans always come and support us. And if I could just give you a small example of how our fans have supported us. So we were playing the test match in Mumbai against Australia. And there was a small bunch of people, I think 10 of them, called the Bucket Hatters, and they came, and usually we know as Aussies always sledging us, but they came before the test match could start, and just 10 of them was so loud, they kept sledging the Aussies that we didn't have to open our mouths there, and from before the game could start till the end, they didn't even stop. So just imagine, that was just 10 of them, but imagine an entire stadium packed, cheering for India, supporting us. I mean, right now I'm feeling motivated. I feel like going and playing right now.
Hang on, you said something very key. We didn't have to open our mouth there. So who is the biggest sledger in the team then? I know it's not you. Who's the biggest sledger in the team?
I think we'd like to keep it as a secret. We don't want to give our opponents too much information right now, you know.
A good one. Speaking of opponents, Who are you most excited? Yeah, I know you can score against anyone, Smriti, but who are you excited to play against? Who is there like extra doom against when you play a certain opponent, Australia, England? Who is the one that you're most looking forward to?
I think in World Cup it will be everyone because we'll have to beat everyone to lift this trophy. So
no, I know
okay,
that.
I'm coming there. I think one team for sure because Australia has been dominating in terms of the world events for the past 10 years. So for us, it's always an extra motivation whenever we play against them. That whenever we have a good game, we defeat them. I mean, it's always a nice feeling.
Australia didn't qualify for the finals of the last T20 World Cup. Do you ever look at those results ever and think, oh, things are a little more even now? Does any of that matter to you as a unit, as a leader?
Yeah, I mean, now every team has improved a lot. Now you don't know which team is, going to be there at the top 4. So I think that is something which is really good because earlier we know, as Smriti said, they were very dominating. One team was always sure, they are going to play the finals. But right now the pool is always open. So it's only about playing good cricket on that particular day and giving your best.
That was your team talk just before you walk out. That was spoken like a proper leader, true captain as well. Let's get a Josh one, Jenny, to the fans, to all of us who are gathered, who will be supporting you with our hearts and our soul in a home World Cup, because it's a special thing to play a home World Cup. It truly, truly is, irrespective of the result. A message for the fans, a message for your team about what this really means.
Firstly, I'd just like to thank all the fans because wherever we go, like I said, they've always been there, always supporting us. And this World Cup's going to be even more special because it's a home World Cup. And I remember watching the 2011 World Cup from my home. And I remember when India won, the streets of Mumbai were packed. I couldn't step out of my house. And I was 11 years old at that time. And that was the realization that came at that moment, that this is what a World Cup means to India. And that's when the dream also began to win a World Cup, especially win it at home. So I know what impact the fans have played, and I just hope that, you all come in large numbers to support us. Like Smriti said, we don't have to tell it. You all will come, but your prayers and your blessings mean the world to us, and that's all we need. And we promise you as the Indian women's cricket team, we'll give our heart and souls out there. Do whatever we can to get the desired results.
Absolutely. And you have our heart and souls in this home World Cup. A huge thank you to Harmanpreet Kaur, our leader, Smriti Mandhana, Jemimah Rodrigues, as they embark, this triumvirate who will embark on what it means to play in a home World Cup. And absolute powerful conversation as well. We are talking about the future that starts just right now because the countdown is not just ticking, it is traveling. It's really exciting to announce that the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup Trophy Tour begins right now. From the stadiums to the street, you can experience that magic as it will engage you all over the country. And that's not all. We're also launching what would be a first of its kind as well, a school contact program, which means that the World Cup will be taken directly to the young minds, the young hearts, the young dreamers that will be watching these three compete on what will be the world stage, planting the seeds of passion just the way that we want them. I thank the three of you. After this, I'm going to hand you over to my esteemed colleague Jatin Sapra as well. So thank you so much for joining us. The action is underway. The journey has just begun, 50 days away from the ICC Women's World Cup 2025.
It's been many years, but the goosebumps are still very, very fresh. Also joining us on the stage is someone who's been a very humble servant of the cricketing ecosystem. Cricket and pulse of the viewers has been in his heart and mind. Please welcome on stage the CEO of the ICC, Mr. Sanjog Gupta. Thought, why should Mayanti have all the fun? 3 amazing discussions. We will now celebrate it with our champions and someone who's going to champion the cause for audiences across the world. Thank you everyone for being here. Mithali, 50 days to go. I know we've got lots of questions, that are very detailed. Let's just start with the emotion of it. Now you can't control it with the tosses, with the team selection, with the squad, with the bat. How does it feel when you come to an event where everything is about 50 days to go, World Cup in India, and such a wonderful team, inspiring skipper leading up to this edition? What's the feeler?
Well, I'm excited because World Cups always gets those old memories back, and the way the team has been doing in the last 1 year, really, really well in this format, just not in ODIs. I think even the T20 coming off a wonderful series in England, beating England in England is a huge ask, but they've done it. And I can see when they were talking about the confidence and having a home World Cup. Nothing better when the team is really doing well.
Yeah, I mean, the confidence is there in almost every single answer that we had from the three of them. This gentleman, this champion here, Yuvraj Singh, 50 days, I know, again, there's nothing much you can control on the field. But this is a World Cup, an Indian team is representing. What is the feeling when you're a cricketer who's going to be a part of a World Cup, 50 days to go, is almost every decision that you're taking off the field, on the field, with the World Cup in sight all the time?
First of all, Mithu's talking like a batting. I can see that. Thank you, ICC, Mr. Shah, Mr. Gupta, for having me here. I think 50-over World Cup is the World Cup. And, it's happening in India, and I think it's everybody should be really excited about it. These moments don't come often in your life, I believe, and I feel it's a great opportunity to create history. But that doesn't mean that, from the start go, you're thinking of winning it. You have to experience the whole enigma of it. You have to feel that, you put in the process and results will come. So I know, lost a couple of finals. We've been there. And it's really important that you enjoy this moment, be in the moment, rather than thinking ahead. And I think it's a great opportunity. Fans will go crazy. We were supporting the boys. Now it's time to support the girls.
Fans will go crazy. We will go crazy. We've already started it. Sanjog, you've got a very unique perspective on the growth of the game. And something that we've been talking about regularly was that moment when the T20 World Cup was an absolute sellout. 86,000 people watching. The viewership has just been on an upwards trajectory. What has probably been one of the most critical points of this turnaround for women's cricket as well, for this trajectory, and how much of a role do you think the 2017 edition played in that?
It played a huge role. It's already been said what a moment it was for Indian cricket when the women returned from the World Cup, and the way that they were received at the airport just showed how much latent support for women's cricket and cricket in general existed in this country. Any major movement is made up of many small moves, and there have been many small moves over, as you said, 50 years of international cricket in India. But more has happened for women's cricket in the last 10 years or so than perhaps had happened in the 40 years prior. Just the outpouring of support, the support that the game has received from the BCCI and the ICC and the larger ecosystem, the support that it has received from stakeholders across the board, whether it's the franchises in WPL, whether it's the commercial partners who've come forth to support it, it's genuinely today positioned for the most massive leap possible. So the upcoming World Cup is possibly that springboard for the next phase of the journey for women's cricket. And at times we are guilty of looking at very small things. We look at numbers, we look at performances on the field, and all of those are important. But there is a larger picture here. The larger picture has to do with what this means for the country. The growth of women's cricket in many ways is a reflection of the country's progress. It normalizes women occupying spaces which were traditionally dominated by men. It normalizes women being outdoors. It also creates an opportunity for men and women both to come out and support Team India, not just the men in blue, but the women in blue. So in every sense, the growth of women's cricket over the last 8 years particularly has brought us to this moment where it's time for women's cricket to take the next leap. And this World Cup is the aperture or the springboard for that next leap.
Fab. Looking forward to it. No pressure. I mean, we know that the springboard moment will come with the larger picture and hopefully with the trophy as well. Mithali, you've seen it. I mean, this is not to mention how many years you've been playing cricket for, but for a beautiful career that spanned more than 2 decades. You've seen a lot of this evolution in front of your eyes. Perception has been in and around global cricket. You've seen the body language change. You've seen the confidence change. How much has it evolved? And let's just say in the last decade and a half too, maybe.
Well, see, the evolution of the sport in our country had certain significant moments, I would say. Everything added up to where we are today. Like, say, you start with coming under BCCI was a huge thing way back in 2006. The infrastructure and the facilities, the domestic setup, were all now taken care by BCCI, even the financial aspect of it. There were hardly any international series back then, sometimes 2 years, and we don't get to play an international series. Whereas now you see the girls playing a lot more of the games, lot more bilateral series, and that really helps to build a momentum, or if you have an existing momentum, to take it a notch higher. Then comes, of course, coming under ICC. I remember the 2009 World Cup in Australia. That was the first time few matches were televised on a reputed sports channel, and the first time my father saw me play on television. And, it's something I would like to share, is that I was planning to quit post that World Cup, because there was not much in women's cricket, and I was sort of struggling with an injury, since 2005. And, I thought, like, after the World Cup, say goodbye to the sport. But then I've seen how it impacted my family. My father enjoyed watching me play. A lot of people who were invested in the team, in the players, were actually watching women's cricket. We had a few small followers on their own watching women's cricket. So let me extend a couple more years. And then I went on to play for a longer time. And then the 2017 World Cup, that actually transformed women's cricket, not in India, but globally, I would say, because social media was relatively new. ICC did their part in campaigning and promoting on a larger scale, I would say, because I was packing for the World Cup and I saw that, I think, Champions Trophy was being played, India-Pakistan. And I switched on the TV and I was listening to the commentary and packing. And then I hear the commentators go like, the next big event is the Women's One Day World Cup. And they show the captain's hoardings at the stadium. So it was a good ad. It was a good campaign for the World Cup with the emojis and everything. And then, for a long period, the T20 World Cup was like a curtain raiser, the women's T20. To the men's, and then we had a standalone T20 World Cup, and the WPL. That was huge, because for the longest time, a lot of people were asking about the league in India, the impact of Women's Premier League, though it's still new, it's just 3 years in. And, the pay equity, everything had added up to where women's cricket is today, and it didn't happen overnight. It's a journey. And, it was good to actually witness it, part of it. Records come and go, but I can at least say that I've seen the previous eras and the current one at least, and I've lived it. That is something is my takeaway from this beautiful sport.
It's beautiful. In 50 years, I mean, now we're so used to a D.Y. Patil or a CCA or Wankhede Pact when women play. Recently, when they were playing in England, just to see the rain break in Lords, where you were wondering whether there'll be any action or not, but everybody stayed back to see the game. The global superstars now, not just Indian cricketers. We're now coming down to the most obvious question. There is a World Cup, and one will ask someone who's represented India, there is that pressure who comes in, right? You walk out to bat, there are 50, 70,000, maybe in Ahmedabad, 100,000 fans who are cheering your name. How do you turn that pressure into privilege? How do you channelize that to bring that extra gear in the World Cup?
Play the situation, not the expectation. So, the fans...
Easier said than done? I mean, do you have to train yourself to think like that?
The fans are always expecting 4s and 6s or like wickets. I think that's, that's the game. They come to watch, they want entertainment, they want to be entertained. But the point is that if you want to win the World Cup, you have to be in the situation when you play it. And I think there'll be times where they're going to feel that pressure. There'll be times when things are not going to go well. And that's the time where experience and, the self-belief has to take over. That I believe I can be the player in this moment. I think every time you walk in win the game, you have to believe that you want to win the game for your country that day. If you're playing well or whatever it is. I think every player has to carry that belief that in that situation, I'm going to shine. And it's not that, when Smriti gets out, oh, Harman is there. Harman thinks if I get out, somebody else is there, or Jemimah is there. You got to believe it as a team that every time I walk into bat or bowl, that I'm the person who's going to make the difference. And if all 11 believe that, I'm sure the results will follow.
What were some of the conversations that the 11 had? We always say, and heard it from so many of you, when you walk in on that big game, everybody knows it's a big occasion. The media will build it up. Everyone, the fans will make you feel that it's a big occasion. Is there an instance how you guys lived in this situation, took that sense of occasion, which is there, but just to not let that come into the dressing room? Was there someone who just calmed the nerves ahead of a big pressure game? Anything that you'd like to share? I mean, what could they do in that dressing room on a big match day?
I think I can give some examples of what we felt at that time. I think at that time, we were playing a World Cup at home. No country had won the World Cup at home. And it was 28 years since we won the World Cup. And I remember we tied a game against England, and then we were playing well. And I remember we lost one game against South Africa where we were in a winning position. I won't go into details. And we lost the game. And we got a lot of backlash, obviously. Welcome to India. So, a lot of backlash, a lot of chat about how India is going about their tournament. I think I remember having a chat, Tendulkar and Gary Kirsten coming in and having a chat with us, saying that from now we're going to go and win the World Cup from here. What are things we need to do if you want to win the World Cup? Nobody's going to watch TV from now. Nobody's going to read the newspaper. Social media wasn't big that time, right? Now it's even dangerous for you because it's right there on your phone. So my advice, switch it off when the World Cup is going on. And the third thing he said that when you walk through crowds, you're happy to take photos or signatures. Put your headphones on. Go and focus on the field. Going back to your room, put your headphones back on. Be in that moment. Cut the noise. And try and do what you need to do, to win this tournament. Because this moment is, you don't know when it's going to come back or ever come back. Or if any of us will be playing this moment. So, be in the moment and let's try and do this as a team. We did that, it'll work. I'm not saying it's going to work for you. I'm just saying that the team has to focus on something which makes them believe that, okay, if we do this, this might work for us.
Fabulous. Jemmy, don't worry, we'll still keep liking. We'll be waiting for the posts. You can put it off for a while. But to promote the sport, Sajjog, we have to push the content out across all social platforms. The youth, which is such an important part to inspire. That's what World Cups do, right? They inspire the next generation. What are some of the good measures that can be taken and that you will be with the ICC to inspire and engage the youth and increase these opportunities in and around the World Cup? Like you said, the springboard for women's cricket to take it to an even higher level, starting from the entire fanfare of this edition.
I think firstly, we need to acknowledge that a World Cup is not just an event. It leaves behind a legacy and culture which inspires many generations to come. Whether it's watching UV in 2007, which created an entire generation of fans for the T20 format, or his journey in the 2011 World Cup, which created this belief in people that anything could be achieved, or Mithali's journey across multiple World Cups, culminating in that 2017 World Cup where, it was a moment for people to acknowledge that we had heroes beyond the men in blue. There is an entire generation of fans that will remember this World Cup. So it's not just the event itself, but a legacy that's going to be created. I think as part of that movement or that attempt to create a legacy, it's also about, one, inspiring more and more girls to play. And I think the ICC and the BCCI are partnering to take the trophy almost as a symbol of inspiration to the length and breadth of the country. The choice of venues is also such that it allows the depth of the engagement to be significantly more. It's also an attempt to not just inspire girls to play, but also inspire communities around girls to encourage them to play and be accepting of the fact that sport, and particularly cricket, is a career choice that girls can make and continue to stay engaged with. Yes, once the World Cup starts, the focus will be on our three cricketers and the rest of them, and on the action and the on-field performance and everything that Yuvi and Mithali have spoken of. But it still doesn't take away what this World Cup can potentially deliver to the Indian cricket ecosystem, but also the global cricket ecosystem. Right? We want better representation for half of the population in our sport. That's where growth for the sport is going to come from. It also enables kids of both sexes to grow up feeling inspired, wanting to play the sport. I was reading a report the other day which also spoke of how kids get inspired to play because they watch. So coming to the stadiums, switching on the TV, logging on to digital platforms to watch the World Cup is going to genuinely inspire an entire generation to engage with the sport in a manner that they haven't in the past. So that's the opportunity to build a legacy. And this World Cup, I hope, leaves behind a legacy which will serve, as we are saying, a big leap for the sport in general and women's sport in particular.
Fingers crossed. Mithali, one final question. Just a heart-to-heart, former captain to the current one. The experience, there's been some great moments, there have been some heartbreaks. If you were to just concisely pass on some learning to this dressing room, to just remember in good times and bad, in their quest for this trophy, what would your message be?
Well, I think they did speak about preparation because that's what gives them a lot of confidence. But as Yuvi said, you got to be there in the present. There'll be a lot of noise. Yes, he rightly said so, because it's a home World Cup. Everybody are rooting for our team. I would only say that, they reflect back into all those matches they've been winning this year. Just pick and seize those moments, those very important moments during a game, because that's what is going to take you a step forward, closer to what all of us want, the hands on this cup. Nothing much, no stress, as we say, but still there will be a little bit. That's good. There has to be a bit of butterflies in when you're playing the big event. But I think mindset is what all three of them spoke about. That is so important even when the times are not so great during a World Cup, because it's a one-day World Cup. It's a little longer than the T20 World Cup. Finishes in 2 weeks, but one-day World Cup, you got to play each and every team. It's a little longer. So it is also how often or how consistently you're carrying that mindset, that attitude into each and every game. That counts as well. So I wish all the very best. The team has been doing really well, and we're all rooting for them.
I'd just like to urge everyone in this room, I know the media fraternity is here and our broadcaster in India is here as well. I think the best investment that each of us as individuals can make towards this World Cup is just to watch it and to get kids around us to watch it. The deeper this game goes, the more kids are exposed to the beauty of women's cricket and the glory of women's cricket, the better the sports ecosystem is going to be. So if there is one thing that I would urge everyone who's perhaps watching this and is in the room is to get more people around you to just watch the World Cup. Because what that will do is it'll create almost a wave of both support but also belief and inspiration around the country. So that's my one request to everyone, which is to get people to watch, because just watching the World Cup is enough to inspire an entire generation to believe more in women's cricket in general, and just the virtues that sport stands for, which nothing else can deliver.
Thank you, Sanjog. Wonderful message, parting message from the former captain, from someone who's championing the cause. A big thank you to all of you for joining us here, for your commitment, for your purpose. Here today, 50 days to go for the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup. May it be a spectacle, and we promise to the three of you and everyone who's wearing the blue onto the field, we will support you wholeheartedly through thick and thin. We're proud of our team, and we wish you all the very best. Thank you so much. Can we have a big round of applause for our already champions, the three who are here, and the team? I hope this energy reaches out to them. All roads lead to the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup. 50 days to go. Could I request our three cricketers to come up here on the stage and join Yuvraj Singh and Mithali Raj for a photo op? Sanjog, thank you so much for joining us on the stage and sharing your vision. A big... I'm going to move the chair out of the frame. Here is hoping that today we're so close to the trophy. We're also not too long to go from now. Here's wishing you and the whole team has an incredible campaign at the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup.
The stage is set.